To get started, I many times do an ankle protocol using a floss band that helps to open up the ankle. I do rotations, moving my foot clockwise, counterclockwise, back and forth. Here I've added a 15-pound dumbbell and doing single leg tibialis raises, and then next I do single leg rotations. All of this hopefully will open up my ankle just a little bit, and then when I couple that with the strength training afterwards, I'm able to learn to use that little bit of range of motion that I've opened up using these techniques, and these techniques also can strengthen those end ranges on their own. I should be doing this more often during the week. Next, I'm doing these lateral side-by-sides, going to the edges of my feet, and this is helping my body, mostly my ankles, to learn to load on the edges, going right and left. Now I'm getting into the actual ATG program, the standards program. But before I get into it, I'm also going to do some low-level plyometrics, but I'm starting with, you can see, backwards sled drags, and I do that for 5 minutes as a general warm-up for the legs. Next, I did backwards running, and I did that for 2 minutes, and then I would do 2 minutes of walking, then 2 minutes, then 2 minutes of walking, and I did 3 sets total. Here is me getting into the main part of the program. It's a triple superset starting with tibialis raise, 3 sets of 15. I superset this day with single leg curl, and that's 3 sets of 10 is what I'm using. And then the final superset is hip flexor, 3 sets of 20. I have some imbalances. My left hamstring, you can see here, I can't get the final rep. I have pulled that actually many times in the past sprinting, so it's a little bit weaker. But my right hip flexor is weaker. Going into the main movement for the day, I'm using 45 pounds. You can see I have good length on my left hip flexor. My right ankle does have that dorsiflexion problem, but I'm still working the movement pretty good, and I was able to do this pain-free. I'm showing all 10 reps here. Really try and focus on squeezing the back hip flexor, keeping my chest upright. Now, although my left ankle is better than my right, you can see my right hip flexor really holds me back on these. And that is where I feel these the most. And I also feel a little bit of instability on my left side. And I'm not sure if that's because of my left hamstring, of the injuries I've had there, or maybe just the right hip flexor in the lengthened position causes me to be unstable at the bottom of this. And then lastly, I did 3 sets of 20 with Romanian deadlift.